Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. In the last episode, we dealt with quite an interesting little thing with the little pirate set here being the fight off with a giant, cardboard kraken. But it ended up being one of the hardest fights I think we've ever had in this entire game, surprisingly. Just because of the fact that, just because of how the layout of the battle was, made it a lot harder than normal fights would be, that we were used to. Because of the fact that you're limited on what you can do with certain characters, with how Rabbid Mario is very short range, to, Rabbid Peach not having multiple attacks other than single targets. But the thing is the way you were supposed to do it with that specific area for just the last fight that we did in the last episode was you were supposed to try and use Rayman's swap ability to be able to do two blaster attacks, which I didn't realize you could do before, which is actually pretty cool, because you could shoot once with one bullet, and then you could swap and do another one, which is pretty cool, so it refreshes your stuff, which is pretty neat, honestly. He's got a lot of things he could possibly do if you really want to get things done. But with that being said, honestly, I think it's time to jump right on in, back into the fun. Since, honestly, for me, it's been about a couple weeks. I ended up getting sick again, and whenever I get sick, I'm sick for way too long. And it's impossible for me to record while sick, so I'm just happy to be back at this point. But honestly, here we go, Punch Pals, Rayman and Rabbid Mario. A quick study of this dark mist puddle tells me that melee combat will give us an edge. Well, we know exactly who's good with melee. Rayman, Rabbid Mario, while your fighting styles are quite different, you're both good at punching things. That is pretty true. Anything to help. You can count on me to take things seriously. Ooh, if you get a chance, bump fist and shout Punch Pals. I want to shop a series to the network. Okay, well, here we go. Punch Pals. Usually whenever we do one of these type of missions, we usually get a memory shard for the new character that is attached to it. But when we were dealing with the Melodic Gardens, we got something much different than a playable character one. So I'm kind of curious if we're gonna get Rayman's memory here or not, honestly. Just because of what happened in the last one. Also, I just noticed something. The Valkyrie enemy is on the map over here, technically, from back in the original Kingdom Battle game. That's pretty cool to see those. Although it is just the armor, it's just cool to see them in general. Would be cool if they made a reappearance, or they were pretty terrifying when it came to damage in the original game, but I would like to see them come back if they do end up making another one of these. I would like to see that. Honestly, in we go. First things first is definitely figuring out how we want to deal with our enemies here. We're definitely going to want to use our selfie ability for sure. So let's throw out self-service and get our extra Rabbid Mario out. It's all about just defeating enemies though, so it shouldn't be too hard. But are we dealing with... These are, depleters. So... these are the guys that like to restore their own HP. So we need to be careful with those guys. But for the most part, it's pretty much just depleters, actually. Okay, that's not going to be too bad. It will kind of hurt us, though, because they'll like to try and regen as much HP as they possibly can. So we're going to want to be careful. And before we go for any attacks, we want to make sure we do as much as we possibly can before we actually decide to go through with it. But definitely, let's punch you out a couple times, and then prepare for the true combat here. I think what we can do, possibly, kind of curious on the range of our vortex bullet again. Okay, so it looks like we're definitely going to need to push Rayman further if we want to do anything here, for sure. But it's all dependent on Rabbid Mario being in the exact right spot for him. Then where do we want to go from here, exactly, for range-wise? Be nice to see that thing. Okay. We can make our way to the other depleter. That would probably be a good idea. I like the idea of that, so I think that's what we'll end up doing. We're going to want to at least make sure we get 2 of these guys out in one turn, I think. So, I think it's going to be safe to say, get as many plunger guards out as possible, so we can prepare for whatever we want to do here. And other than that, we don't know if I want to immediately go into spawning in anything else. I think what we can do, though, is we could do double plunger guards with the vortex guards here. And then use our turn to actually dash into this guy, using our plunger guards to hopefully get rid of this guy on the first turn here. If he decides to move, he'll be definitely not liking what ends up happening to him. I'll be honest there. But that gives us a little bit of a setup there without massively affecting us. Then we can easily reposition into a safety spot with the hooks here, which should be perfectly fine for a first turn, I think. We got 6 turns to do this, so I don't feel too bad about that, honestly. But we are going to want to go back a little bit for Rabbid Mario, and I think we're going to need to do just a little bit more damage in order to make sure this guy goes down. I think as long as we do a punch, he should be out, though. Apparently not, really. I'm surprised we can't one-turn these guys with 2 Rabbid Marios. That's really surprising. But if we get a crit, we could. But no. Okay. Well, unfortunate, but not the worst case scenario, honestly. And I think the best thing is to just deal with this guy here, honestly. See what he ends up doing. We're in a good spot via, like, position-wise right now, so as long as we make sure we get rid of our other depleter buddy here. You got lifesteal out of it, though. Not really sure how I feel about that. It's really all just about positioning. Also, you somehow survived. I'm very surprised about that. But if I can keep my self-service up for another turn, I'll definitely take it. Yeah, this is definitely not the easiest looking map, just because of what's going on here. I do see a way of maybe... Yeah, we can maybe get rid of both of these guys this turn, depending on how we do this. It's all dependent on a couple factors, though. And I can't get my plunger guards back, so... Or at least this turn, at least. So that's a little unfortunate. But... what it could possibly do... Actually, how do we want to do this, actually? That's actually a very good, question. What I can definitely do is set up the rocket ride, though. So let's do that, at least. Just to know that we're getting that set in stone. And, like, doing a little bit of damage to these guys while they're hiding out in the middle of nowhere. Probably should have blown them up if we could, but the positioning just didn't work out. But not too bad. Damage would be good here, but I'm going to say probably just setting up the rocket guards over here and making sure we're not getting jumped by these guys in the next couple turns would probably do us better. And other than that, honestly, we can't dash into you, so it's not possible. We could possibly do a couple things here. But I think what we really need to do is figure out a way to knock out the other guy while not losing Rabbid Mario here. It looks like what it could do is possibly use self-service here, do a little bit of damage like so. It's gonna go down, unfortunately, because of their ability. But I don't think it healed them enough to be able to survive. I'm pretty sure. Or did he really just survive with, like, barely any HP? I think he survived with a little bit of HP. Well, that doesn't do as good, but what I can do is still remedy this. It's just their ability is... You can't really account for lifesteal half the time, so dealing with lifesteal can kind of affect you when you got such a limited party when it comes to what you can possibly do with certain characters and stuff. Not too bad, that can work out. And I think what Rabbid Mario can possibly do, it might be in his best interest to go up here, honestly. And then use the rocket guards to his advantage, I think. Because then we can easily do a little bit to this guy, while also kind of preparing for later. Although now we're in a position we can't get back into a zone. I was thinking we'd still have enough movement to at least walk back into the area. That's one thing that you can't account for sometimes when it comes to this game, is just positioning-wise with certain aspects of characters and stuff. But thankfully we're frenzied, so we're not in a very bad position. It's just that it's not a position we'd like to be at all times, is all. And also the rocket guards might deal with him in enough damage. It's possible. It depends on how many crits we get. But thankfully their lifesteal isn't the amount of damage they do, because if it was, it would be much worse. I think it's amplified, though, when it's when they're using their abilities, though. Just a slight bit, just because it's dependent on how much damage they do for them to get certain points off of it. But right now, it's all about figuring out how we're going to do this next turn. I don't know how you're going to do this in 6 turns, though, at level 8, though. Just because there's only so much you're going to be able to do damage-wise in a turn. It's going to be very dependent on how you move your characters, for sure. But right now, it's all about making sure we do just enough damage to get rid of these guys if we can. I'm going to say if we do a dash, we could for sure do just enough damage to make sure one of them does go down. And I think if I dash into you, we do still have the movement afterwards. So I'm curious if we can punch him, but I don't want to punch him now. It doesn't seem like a worthwhile thing to do on this turn. We can help it. But it does look like it could possibly hit both of them if we get the right angle. Yep, we definitely can. Good. Okay. I'll take that then. We can get rid of another depleter this turn. That'd be perfect. And that's exactly what we want to see. Now it's definitely about figuring out how we're going to do a little bit of damage while also not getting seen immediately by him on the next turn here. Okay, not too bad. We don't have a for sure shot on this guy, though. That's the one problem about that. The other guys are far enough to where they're not going to be too much of a problem. But it's all dependent on if we can hit him with... No, okay. Unfortunate. But I'm going to move here, actually. We might be able to get a counter blow off of one of these depleters here, which will kind of work for us if it happens, honestly. It really depends on how the enemies want to do their turn here. They're moving away from us, though, which could be a good thing. But we did get a counter blow, so the healing that he got really didn't help him. Actually, no, it did. Never mind. That counter blow actually did us worse than it actually did to help us. Okay, well, that's really not good, actually. Huh. Okay, well, just because of that, I think it's actually impossible to win now. Huh. Well, that's one thing that happens when you get rusty, when it comes to not being able to play for a couple weeks, but it's a learning curve, obviously, so I'll be right back. We'll be right back to where we were, and I'll have things under better control here in the second time around. But, as we can see, my cold ended up getting the best of me from what had happened, but we'll be right back, and we'll see what's going to happen here in the next round when it comes to doing this, because I feel like There is a better way to do this, I just don't see it right away, is what the problem is. Because lifesteal enemies are very hard to deal with when they're the only enemy on the field. And with such a limited turn bracket to get the gold, just the gold medal for this, it seems like it's not very possible at this level. But maybe that's the point. I'm not too sure, because you can come back to these levels later at a higher level and still get the gold medals. So I'm kind of curious if you're supposed to do this later. Very surprised, but I guess we'll see what happens here. BRB, boys and girls, and I'll see you when we're in a much better spot. Okay, I finally figured out a way to do this, and I really don't think this is possible at level 8 on the normal difficulty. Just because of, the thing is sometimes these enemies, when they go into this counterblow mode, there's not many areas where you can actually get behind things. Like, if I were sitting here, and then this guy had the counterblow set up, I'd be able to dodge it. But the thing is with how open some of these areas are with the 50% chances and stuff like that, it's all about getting, I think you have to get, like, crits the entire time, just to be able to do enough damage to whittle them down. So I ended up just dropping the difficulty by 1, just for this map alone, just because I actually genuinely don't think level 8 is supposed to be the difficulty number for this. It should be, I think, like, at least, like, maybe 11 for normal difficulty. If you're playing on this, on the slightly easier difficulty where they drop the HP just a slight bit, it's definitely an 8. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's more to it than what they're showing on the number there, just because of what kind of enemies you're really dealing with. If it wasn't that way, then maybe. But the thing is I'm not running with 8. I don't have any items yet because we don't have any money at this part of the game, so I really am curious on how they were expecting you to do this beforehand, because it's definitely a little bit harder than it looks on paper. Also, I think I have an easy way of getting a free frenzy. I definitely do. It's definitely worth it then. So let's get as much of a frenzy as we could possibly get. And I think we might be able to do this in a way that I can maybe hit a bunch of enemies here, depending on the angle I get. Because if I hit from here, I might be able to hit this enemy down there, where he won't be able to hit me. Because I don't think he can hit me from this angle. So as long as we back up slightly, because he'll lose his counterblow, and if he moves, he's done for. So it's all dependent on getting the right angle on our punch here, I think. It's just depending on if we can even get the angle, because sometimes it's kind of hard to know exactly where you need to punch from in order to get some of your stuff to work. And technically what we could do is go from, like, here too. I don't think he can hit me from this angle. I think. I'm not 100% though. I know if I was here he would, but it seems like we're not going to be able to do it the way that I wanted to do it. Which is fine, you still have the damage reduction, so it's not like it's a major problem. It's just, I was hoping we'd be able to get more out of that than I was thinking we were. But we still got the vortex thing, and that actually put him in a really good spot, technically. And it looks like our self-service is actually going to survive. Okay, that works out. But yeah, when they go into counterblow mode, just try and salvage what you can. Use anything that allows you to not be part of the fight if you can. It's not 100% that it's going to happen that way, but if you can happen to make it that way, you could definitely make these easier than they look. But honestly, from here, all we really need to do is make sure we put down our rocket guards. Just get them ready and set. Do a little bit of damage to you now, so we can help out Rabbid Mario when the time comes. Then, what I think I can possibly do is have Rabbid Mario dash into that guy, I think, would be a good idea. So we know for sure the second bolt goes off. So we know it did as much damage as it needed to do. Then what we'll do is we'll actually pick up this rocket guard, drop it right next to this guy, and back on off, because we don't want to be doing damage to him. Specifically, what we want to do is I think we're going to bounce you out, go through here, make sure we do a little bit of rocket guarding to this guy, make sure we back up, punch him back in, and then what we'll do is, just in case, because I'm not entirely sure if he was down. He did go down because I saw the sparks come out, but just like that, that's how how we're supposed to do that last part there. Definitely not the easiest map, actually, for my first one back. But we actually didn't get a memory for this. We actually got the Operatic Dukes. Cool little pair of gloves. I'll definitely take it. And with that, we got a gold medal as well. And honestly, I'm curious how the Phantom, or Tom Fawn, is going to react to us doing another level here. Because every time we do a level, the higher and higher the ratings go. I'm kind of curious what happens when it goes all the way up. But with that, a little bit higher. And there we go. The Palette Prime Gazette states, not as insipidly grating as one might think. Progress. Progress indeed. But, wow. Definitely not the map to be picking for my very first map back. I really do think that. Because, yeah, that was I'll definitely say that was a yikes for, difficulty curve out of nowhere. Just because I was thinking we were going to get easy one. Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely, for what we got out of it, it didn't seem too bad for just the points and stuff like that, but not too bad. I think this is the end of the pirate area, though. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to quests. Or just map in general. But, it does look like we're definitely done with the pirate zone. So, with that being said, now it's either the western or the medieval set to prepare for, or the main zones in, well, just in general for the normal areas of everything. It's kind of dependent on how we want to do this, really, I think. We can kind of do it in one way, and we can kind of do it in another way. It just depends on how we specifically want to figure this out, honestly. And while I'm at it, might as well make sure I reset my light back up, because I forgot I didn't actually have that on. So it's not as orange for you guys in the sand here. I realized it once I looked over, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have my my secondary lighting on. Thankfully, I could easily fix it in the middle of everything without needing to do any cuts, but still, though, I usually have that up. But, like I said, I'm a little rusty, but I'm definitely getting back into the swing of things after, taking a second and just reevaluating that last level there. I was able to kind of refigure out things and get it to where we knew what we needed to do. But honestly, from here... Also, is that a memory up there? No, it's a block. Square block. That goes over there. Well, since I see it, we might as well grab it. So, let's grab this guy over here and bring it on back to where we definitely see where it needs to go. Use the jump pad instead. It's faster than jumping down those little panels anyways, so might as well do it. But there we go. Open up a whole new area in the main area here. And we definitely got a punch thing here, so... Oh, hello, memory. We'll take that. And let's see here, the Phantom. Let's definitely look at our memory here. The Phantom, or Tom Fawn. The Phantom has been quite busy since we last saw him at Spooky Trails, a whirlwind relationship with Bee, the Warden of Terra Flora, co-host of annual Galactovision Song Contest, and an album 8,000 Hours of Mario Falling into Lava, all under the watchful eye of the paparazzi. And most recently, director of the Space Opera Network. Whatever you might say about him, he knows how to milk his 15 minutes. 15 minutes of fame. And then we also have the giant flaming stooge that we didn't read yet, so... Budget cuts of the Space Opera Network necessitated the last-minute procuring of a giant flaming stooge as a primary antagonist. When a prospect of an animated dragon became too expensive, the giant flaming stooge has formidable scene presence thanks to its terrifying weapon and area of attack, fire attacks. Its strategy is simple: shoot heroes in range to have them scatter away from cover. And that's definitely going to be for the medieval zone. Then we also have the bravados, and we definitely read that one before, but the giant flaming stooge we didn't read before. But we also, wait a minute, I'm not sure which one I accidentally went over, but I think both of these are new, so we'll just read over both. This Rayman character is fascinating indeed. He has hands but no arms, at the least none that I could see. He has feet but no legs. He has different costume each, which enhances his fighting abilities in various ways. Rayman came to the Space Opera Network the same way we did, by invitation. However, he is far less trusting of our circumstances, probably just nerves brought on by straight stage frights. Then this one is definitely a new one, because once I read to the end, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely read that one. But sometimes we could reread some. After decades, we should read the first part. The Space Opera Network. After decades of poor ratings, the Space Opera Network bet everything on a live comeback concert by the Phantom. It wound up in bankruptcy, with the opera singer as its largest creditor. Rumor has it that afterwards the Phantom held a live telethon where viewers paid gobs of money to have him stop singing so the network would return to its original programming, making him a small fortune. Interesting. But it looks like that's pretty much our memories so far. Pretty cool though. I like all the little memories. And gonna be sad when we do officially beat this, we won't have any new ones. Kinda curious on how that's gonna go after everything's all over and done with. But honestly, from here, this looks like it can be moved. Wait a minute. Is there a reason to move it? There definitely is. I can see it right here. Okay. So let's bring this over here then. Since this is definitely a puzzle of sorts. And it looks like all we really need to do is just place it into position, use that from below, push it on through, turn that on, pull this on through. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought that was somewhere I can go for a second. But honestly, not too bad, I think. Oh, but we need to come in from the other side. Okay then. Interesting. But it looks like all we need to really do here is just use the jump panel. Yep, that's exactly what we needed. Okay, well that works. Then all we need to do is flip it back over. It looks like there's an invisible platform here that we just need to open up. This is a very far block, honestly. But it looks like we're dropping it right into the Dryad and Sweet Lopex area. Okay. Not exactly sure what that's going to do for them, but it's definitely going to be a quest of some sort. Even though it didn't seem like they had one. But if they do secretly have one, that means every single area for returning characters from the side quest areas Star Hunt areas, I should say, in the previous worlds in the main game are going to have actual quests to them, technically. I guess it kind of looks like a cake. It's like a cake and a wooden board kind of thing. Not exactly sure what that is, to be fair. But let's drop it right on into their area. And oh yeah, I forgot about that little pressure plate there. So technically, yeah, I guess there was one. Do they have anything new to say? Nope, that's the same thing as before. But interesting though. Secret little one over here. And just like that, another planet coin completed. Not too bad. Other than that, I'm not really sure how many more planet coins are in the main area here. Looks like we're done, but there could still be more hidden around. But honestly, I think what we should do next is prepare for our next area. And I think we should do the medieval zone, honestly. I think that would be a good place to start. Because I think the western area we could save for last. For actually, talking about secret areas, I just saw one right before we walked in. And just like that, another memory. What's this one for? Morning Galaxy Magazine. These sets were from a show called Morning Galaxy Magazine with a Phantom. An insipid tabloid. Let's see, DJ Cheap Tuna was a guest. The artist Gerspard, Sullivan's Train Talk. Cooking with Alchemimentor. Even Sweet Lopek and the Dryad had a show. Building a Bridge to Love. Everyone was invited on this stupid thing, but us. It is a picture of us jamming out with DJ Cheap Tuna in the little mini picture. But honestly, into the medieval set we go. Kinda curious on what our next main story area is going to be like. Because the Kraken area was actually somewhat tough, honestly. So I'm kind of curious on how this one's going to go. It's definitely a giant boss fight, obviously by the giant flaming stooge being part of it. But interesting little set area. Pretty cool though that all of them are like movie sets for this entire world. Good staying with the themes and everything. The costume is my armor. My battlefield is the stage. That is definitely true with what we know about you and your boss fight back in Kingdom Battle, buddy. Mamas, troubadours, welcome to the double marriage of the careless shepherdess, a tragicomedy in 16 parts. So are we comfortable with physical comedy, jumping and climbing, or shall we work on our fight choreography? Jumping, climbing, that's my jam, and I'm great at making costume changes on the fly. That's true. A trifling matter. I did mention that our fantasy set is overrun with creatures of darkness, yes. You definitely said that. Kind of, with the last area. Actually, no. It's a cool little dragon costume thing over there. It's not a real dragon, but it still looks cool. Merely a ferocious dragon, deadly, but an audience favorite. Prior to that, hordes of savage knaves that you may either face directly or cowardly sneak past. Break a leg, or figuratively speaking, Mr. Rayman, of course. Yeah, he doesn't have any legs, does he, so... Okay, medieval sets. So either sneak past or go through areas, got it. But specifically, clear the path to the dragon. Okay, seems easy enough. But there's our medieval set flag. Make sure we grab that. Kinda curious on what he's selling now. Because right now, items do seem very helpful, if we can have any. But we just don't have any money for items, though. That's the problem at the end of the day. And dash cookies aren't as helpful now as they were. So... honestly, I think I'd rather have an extra POW block and an extra dash movement. I think that would work better for me. Or just movement in general. It could work, I think. But honestly, from here, it looks like we're all just looking for the areas just to go to the dragon specifically. Okay. Seems easy enough. And then, other than that, anything we should know about? Yeah, there is. Couple affinity. Rabbid, Peach, and... Rayman. Okay. Interesting. Trust me, there's no rush. Dragons never show up to the set on time. Well, I guess you can definitely say that. There's also a secret coin over here. Well, not so secret. It's visible, but technically, I guess you could say. But honestly, either Couple Affinity would probably be a good start, or going straight into Flaming Stooges. I'm going to say we'll do Couple Affinity, just because... we did the other one. We might as well make sure we do the Rabbid Peach one, too. If we could do both of those today, that would actually be pretty good. I actually don't mind that. A cursory analysis of this dark mist puddle reveals that skill and finesse will be more valuable than brawn. Raven, why don't you take Rabbid Peach with you? You'll find her healing ability invaluable, perhaps even romantic. Romantic? He doesn't look too happy about that. I wrote a screenplay for a rom-com starring you two. I'm hoping Space Opera Network execs see the battle option in it. Okay, well, here we go. I'm curious if this one's gonna give the blaster for Rabbid Peach then, since the other one gave us a skin instead for the Rabbid Mario one. So I'm actually kind of curious how this one's gonna go, because we already have the Rayman one, and we have one for Phantom. So I don't think we would get a random memory like we did with getting in the other area. Because we ended up getting, for the Star Hunt, we ended up getting our Spark Hunter for everything later, instead of getting it through one of these areas like we would normally get memories from them. But only 3 turns. Armored Goombas are never a hard enemy type. Okay. This would be really good for Dash Cookies, though. If I knew I was dealing with Armored Goombas, actually, wait, no, we might not have to, actually. Wait a minute. No, we don't, actually. Wait a minute. There actually is a way to deal with these guys. Okay. Plan. Setting it now in my head. If our rocket version of our ability does affect Armored Goombas, that is what we should be using here. 100%. So just focus on them. Literally. Okay. Let's try it. It's definitely worth a shot. Don't go for him yet. We want to get any of them that we can easily get from long range out first, I think. I think that's our smartest idea. So just make sure they're out of combat entirely. Okay. We can't get to this guy. But where can Rabbid Peach go? Rabbid Peach can go up here. If she had Double Dash, she'd be able to get both of them. If we had Self-Service too, that would also be smart here too. But because we don't, how should we do this? I'm gonna say what I can do. Actually, yeah, there might be a way for me to do this, actually. In a better way. But we don't want to vortex them. What I do want to do, definitely, is move them in the right way. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to do this very, very specifically. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to hope it does. What I'm going to do is I think we start up here to get as much of our timer as we can. Oh shoot, I moved him in the wrong way. Ooh, that could have been bad. Okay. Well, we're over here. 1, 2. Didn't get it, but we did get 3 of them, so it still ended up being kind of the way that we were going to go for. Okay, not too bad. Now what we want to do is actually a very good question. I think what we want to do is summon the Oozer first. I think as long as we get the Oozer on field, that could be fine. He's probably... well, actually, that's a very good spot, actually. Don't mind it. Okay, not too bad. We jump up. We jump down in a way that we can make our escape, at least. Somewhat. Not a big escape, but enough to get out of the fight immediately, if need be. Okay, not too bad. And now it's all about just getting the other Goombas, really. But how do we want to do this? Because we could do this in a way that might work. We can get rid of a good chunk of the Flaming Stooges here, too. Interesting. Very interesting, actually. I kind of like that idea, actually. But what I think is better here, actually, is using the POW block, break these guys as much as we can, get into safety. Rayman doesn't need to worry because of his ability, so let's not worry about his positioning because he's 100% resistant to this stuff in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. But let's get rid of the Flaming Stooges immediately, and then in turn, I guess. But thankfully with our turn here, we were able to get rid of a bunch of Goombas immediately. And then it's all just these 2 over here and the 2 over here. So on the first turn, 5 Goombas immediately off the field. I didn't realize that guy was over there, though. I could have gotten another, I'm pretty sure, if we timed our guided rocket a little bit better. But not too bad. Good thing we're resistant to fire super effects, or just super effects in general, because that would be a really bad spot for Rayman normally. But because of everything that's positioned the way it is right now, it's actually not too bad. But there we go. Not bad at all. Right now, it'd actually be good if we Vortex. How many Goombas can we get? We can get them all really close and personal. I like that idea. Okay, Vortex them all close. And as long as they line up in a way that they're right next to me, I could get multiple dashes in. And just like that, I think that's our win right there, actually. Just like that. Perfect. I like that. That works out quite well indeed. Okay, and just like that, defeat the armored Goombas is good as actually heal first, actually. Before we forget to do that, might as well get ourselves a full heal for Rayman. And just like that, our second main level is complete. Cool. So we ended up getting our Rabbid Mario and a Rabbid Peach level with Rayman complete in the same episode. That's not bad. And with the fact that this was a lower level, makes me think that the pirate area was the final area for us to go to. We ended up picking the harder one first. So I probably am pretty right on the fact that we were supposed to see that level 8 area much later. But not too bad. Not too bad at all. But thankfully, we survived both areas. This time on the normal difficulty for this one, thankfully. But not bad at all. Easy area when we're actually dealing with it. If we have a healer on us, it's much easier for stuff like that.
The viewers chute may be in the toilet, but it is no longer in the sewer. The Beacon Beach Post.
I guess you can definitely say that, buddy. You can definitely say that, Mr. Phantom. But honestly, not too bad so far. Good couple levels to start us off, honestly, for everything that, for like my first, like, kind of like, jump back into everything after being forced to take a break. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with what we've been able to do so far. Because we had a really hard level and then a really easy level to kind of get, like, an idea of how to re-prepare ourselves for things in the future. But honestly, I'm going to do a small cut because at the current time that I'm recording this, I ended up recording a little late in the day. So I actually need to take a small little break to, you know, just have a good time for everything. So what I'm going to do is when I come back from the cuts, it's going to be, I would say, a couple hours in time for me, but only a couple seconds for you guys. Just because, well, I just wanted to really see you guys again, honestly. So I ended up doing a later recording. So that being said, I'll be right back with you guys in the future for me, but just a couple seconds for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching so far, though, and tolerating me being a little rusty on my first time back in a little bit. So hear me, boys and girls, and I'll see you guys very soon. Okay, sorry for the cut, but we're actually back. It actually wasn't as long as I thought the time was going to be, actually. It was actually only, like, about 30 minutes, because I found out I actually had more time, which works out for me, so I'm not going to be too far away from where we were, and honestly, that's actually really good, if it's that way. But right now, we need to find a way through our little puzzle here. I'm going to say staying away from the enemies is probably a good idea. Because we don't want to fight off against these guys, because technically these aren't going to be regular battles. And honestly, there's no real reason to fight those at the long scheme of things, because, well, they technically aren't real fights at the end of the day. So as long as you stay away from certain enemy types and know what you're doing when it comes to, like, walking around these guys, we can easily do what we need to do. I like how the Goomba's just watching me. He knows I'm here. But all we need to do is also get a free memory, too, which is surprising. The Careless Shepherdess. This is the show we're on, apparently. The Careless Shepherdess. The show broadcast from the set is entitled The Double Marriage of the Careless Shepherdess, an hour-long musical dramedy in which the Phantom plays Cyprian Fairclough, a young swashbuckling prince with a voice like a nightingale and throngs of female admirers. Let's just say it involves a lot of makeup, stunt people, reverse aging technology, and award-winning editing to get viewers to buy into the concept. Really? Huh, that's interesting. But all we need to do now is punch the button, open up our pipe, and the right side of this area seems to be done and over with, it looks like, for the most part, as long as we enter the pipe before the Goomba rams us in. But there we go, perfect. We've been on site for 14 hours, without a break or any craft services. Okay, buddy. Well, let's grab our good old cube and wait for our Goomba. It looks like this one's more about figuring out and planning certain areas, it looks like. Because now all we need to do is actually carry the whole squares back after going through these little sneaking areas. Definitely not exactly what I expected for the medieval zone. Because medieval, when I think of medieval, I think like medieval fighting and stuff like that. So I thought maybe more like levels were going to be propagated in this area. Surprised, but I guess it's another way of doing it. Makes me think more like Assassin's Creed, honestly, compared to how it looks from what we can see here. Okay, but that area is done now. Now it's all about figuring out where to go from here. It looks like this guy is going to just turn back and forth. So as long as I run past him like that, that area is completely done. Okay, that was easy. Now it's all about just waiting for him to turn back around and then running through. And then dealing with the other side, which seems to be a little bit more involved in the hiding. Okay, so like that. And then when he walks past me, I gotta make a run for it. But as long as I'm out of his view, he shouldn't see me. And then we run on through, grab our little free item, might as well. No reason not to. Free items are always good. Grab our circle. And then, looks like just make our way back through the easy area again. And honestly, this guy, even if he were to chase me down, I don't think he would be able to catch me. Because I don't think he can go very far. Yeah, he didn't. And just like that, open up another area for our medieval sets. Okay, we got that open now, but I didn't see anything for the triangle zone. Is there a reason for that? I don't see a reason. Triangle. Well, I haven't seen any triangles. So I'm not really sure where that would possibly be. Look one more time. While we're here. I don't see it over there, so weird. Okay. Must be behind like a set piece, I'm gonna say. Or at least one we can't see yet. Maybe if we go to Castle Chaos here, we'll be able to figure out where the triangle is. With that being said, into our next level. And this will probably be our final level for today. Just because, it'd be easier if we ended after this one, just because of it being my first episode back, for me. For you guys, you've had, I have a set schedule, I have backlogs, so I can make sure you guys have videos. But honestly, just in general, just with everything, it's definitely nice to know that we were able to get 3 levels in on my first episode back. So, after being away for 2 weeks forcefully. So, I'm very happy it turned out the way it did, and that we got to do what we needed to do. But this doesn't look like it has anything to do with the Flaming Stooge, though. So I guess there is another level after this. So we'll keep an eye out for triangles later.
We are currently shooting an episode entitled Siege of Were-Walrus Keep. In the scene, you must infiltrate the castle. Molly bombs can be used to destroy the gate. If that scares you good, use it as raw material for your performance.
Okay. So, bomb-bombs again. Well, that doesn't seem too hard. It's just one. Okay. Oh, these are the barrels from that one level. We haven't seen these in a while, the super explosive barrels. Okay, I need to be careful with those, because those are dangerous. It looks like the best way to do this is to press the button and use this with the bomb to toss it in. That's what it looks like. Okay. So it looks like what we need to do is separate Rayman from the group in any way we can. And it looks like we want to stay far away from the Flaming Stooges on the left side. But if we can take them down, we should. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. How do we get out of this area, though? Oh, it looks like Rayman has to help. Okay. But thankfully we have the hooks, and that actually completely makes our movement whatever we want. So no matter what, even though he moved, he's perfectly fine. So, that's good. Okay, that's not too bad. We can work with that. We want to definitely enter and go through here. And let's make sure everybody goes through first. And then we'll figure out Rayman's movements. Because Rayman's going to want to move here too. Okay. Seems easy enough. Now, what we want to do is definitely... Is there a way for me to maybe pull all the... No. I was thinking I could maybe pull more of those Flaming Stooges together. But it doesn't go as far as I need it to. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem too hard. I think what we really want to do here is find a way to go over there, obviously. But I'm going to say definitely what we want to do is possibly along the lines of setting up the plunger guards here, I think. So they have the plunger guards to help out for the regular guys down here. And then, best thing I can think of right now is to give me a range like that to be able to help out Rabbid Mario, so he can have a little bit more movement. We can definitely punch these guys down. That works out. Okay, I was thinking that we weren't going to knock them out immediately, so that ended up working out a little better. I'm going to say definitely what we can do here is move Rabbid Mario as far as we possibly can get him to go. And then send in self-service. Because we want the bomb-bombs to be by themselves. And if we can help that, that's going to probably be the best thing possible at the end of the day here. So, I'm going to hope this works in our favor. And then, if we can, I'd like to maybe knock out both of these guys with self-service. Because I think it's very much possible. It just depends on the angle. Yeah, that definitely looks like it'll work. Okay, cool. If we can get rid of the Flaming Stooges, that would be the best possible thing. And then set up counterblow. Because as long as somebody hits our fake Rabbid Mario here, we'll be perfectly fine. Okay, not too bad. We still got the one behind me, but I don't think that's majorly a problem. I'm going to say, if I can maybe grab one of these to take with me, that would probably be a good idea. I can't bring it too close though, but I can at least prepare it as much as I can. And then slide them into place. We don't want the bomb-bombs moving yet, so I'm going to try and keep them over there as much as I can. And hopefully, with our positioning here, that's not too bad. We can take our plunger guard and bring it with us, so Rayman has something to use. So we have extra capabilities right now. Do we hold on to our thing? Maybe. I'm not 100% though. But I think I might be able to use this to my advantage too. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's do Vortex Pull here. I have an idea how this can work with us, just because of the plunger guards. Okay, cool. I was able to pull them completely out. That's good. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, from here, we definitely go about this like... probably definitely jumping up, I would say.
The other guy's gonna survive. Not sure how I feel about that, honestly. But we'll summon our Oozer. Because the Bomb-Bombs aren't making their way over here, we should be fine with that. And if he goes for that guy, I actually don't think this is going to be too much of a problem, actually. Because all I need to do is just triple troll the other guy over here. That works out. Okay, cool. That works out really well, actually. Because I wasn't sure that was going to be how that went, and it did. So that's not too bad, actually. So we got a whole free zone right now. So let's just end our turn. Let the Bomb-Bombs do whatever they want. As long as they don't go running off on me, I'm perfectly fine with their positioning. I just need to make sure they don't hit me. But next turn we're going to probably have to super effect to make sure we're not dealing with enemies for a turn. I just need to make sure that our Oozer doesn't attack our Bomb-Bombs, if I can help it. Looks like that Flaming Stooge is going to leave us alone. So honestly, we might just make a run for it right now. There's no reason to force fights right now, if we can help it. So, just make sure we can make it to where we need to, first. First and foremost. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna say right now, I think we could probably make it to our zone, probably. Who has the best jump here, though? That's what we need to know. Okay, you definitely will make it. So, I think our best capable opponent, well, not opponent, but best capable use of this is definitely dropping Rabbid Mario on the button. So, Rabbid Mario, you go on the button, buddy, and I think we make our run. So, let's see here. Well, if we jump down, we could technically make it, but the thing is I can come back with Rabbid Mario, if need be. So, we just need to figure out our positioning from there. Rayman's definitely going to go up. Hopefully we get the right positioning on the button, and we did. Okay, so now everything's open. So that's exactly what we need to be able to beat this level. So it's all about positioning here. Okay. So what I need to do is quickly position everything. It's not going to be the easiest thing, but it's not going to be the hardest thing either. Okay, so all we really need to do is go in, grab the Bomb-Bomb, and go from there. And if that goes well, which you're just out of range, but that's fine, we have the movement, grab our Bomb-Bomb, we need to pause the timer as much as we possibly can. That's literally how we do this. It's hot potato, basically. Okay, move closer. Nope. Rabbid Mario wasn't close enough. Thanks, Rabbid Mario. Well, that's not the end-all, be-all. We'll just let the Bomb-Bombs get closer, I think. I wanted to get that perfect turn, though. But I think being here is safe for right now. Okay, well that didn't go the way that I wanted it to, but that's not the worst case scenario. Right now, it's all about just figuring out how we can make this work still. I'm gonna say Plunger Guard, or Rocket Guards here. If they're on the button, no, okay. I was wondering if they would, but they don't. Well, it's good to know. But let's definitely blast these guys into next week. Oh, that blew up the whole thing. Really? Okay. That's surprising. I've never seen it work like that before. Huh. Okay, well, you learned something new. My Rocket Guard blew up immediately. Okay. I guess, it does have a chance to take itself out, I guess. Huh. Strange. I definitely did not even know that. But, that's good to know, though. Now that I do know that, because, that's completely new to me. Well, that still works out. We were able to get rid of 2 more of those guys, so no matter what, our next run should be enough. And I don't think we're going to get hit from this range. I guess we just see what the enemies do. Okay, Bomb-Bomb's close. Oh, the Fire Stooge that we left. That's not a major problem, I guess. We have full movement now. So we can still make this work. For sure. It's just all about positioning and everything. Okay. But it's definitely a run. We need to make a run. And as long as Rabbid Mario can run into the pipe, we pick the bomb up, we drop it next to Rabbid Mario. Okay, that would work perfectly. Okay, cool. So, let's just make sure Rayman's in the right spot this time. And doesn't mess us up this time. Well, it wasn't his fault, to be fair. It was, the bomb getting placed in the wrong positioning on us. But as long as I drop it next to Rabbid Mario, like that, hold it, go in through, pause our timer for just a second, and then toss it, like so, there goes the level, and just like that, GG, easy. Although, is that the end of the level, though? Because it didn't end the way that I thought it would. Or maybe it did. I'm not too sure, actually. Oh no, it's immediately into another one. Okay. So we are fighting the giant flaming stooge. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting another fight immediately after. But it looks like we're doing another level. Oh jeez. Okay then. Well, let's see what Phantom's got, or Tom Fawn's got for us now.
Now we were all looking forward to your climactic scene versus a CG dragon. I purchased a green screen and everything.
It's not a CG dragon, buddy. It's definitely a real dragon. Kind of.
However, due to budget constraints, we had to go live action. A giant flaming stooge. Fear not, we will fix it in post. Like a dragon, the giant flaming stooge will use its fiery attacks to drive you out from behind cover. Method actors. We spent a fortune on commercial spots for the episode during the planet-shaped Cheese World Cup finals. So go big.
Okay. How do we win this? What exactly is our plan? Oh, just take out the flaming stooge? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. There's more to it. We're blowing up covers in order to go further. Oh. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Bomb-bombs are definitely going to be the key. Explosive barrels, too. Okay. Interesting. But is it really necessary in this case? For the first one, like this? Because we could just take out the bomb-bomb here. I think I could do it out of range of the bomb-bomb too, and still hit this guy. Well, we still kind of get hit. Maybe there's still a way to do it. Gotta do it from an angle. I'm pretty sure we could hit him and not get hit by the blast radius, right? No. Okay. Well, it looks like we need to get hit by the blast radius. That's fine. I don't mind it if we take out the other guy, I guess. We'll go for it. It's not like we can't move after. That works. Okay, that's not bad. And then we can move forward. We can drop down self-service. Prepare another round of that. And I think I can hit him too. Maybe. Well, depending on how it goes. But not too bad. Now what we need to do is figure out how to get Rayman closer. And we don't have hooks, so it's not going to be hooks to get there. But what I can do, perhaps, is maybe, just maybe, we can grab the first bomb, jump off of Rayman, because we have extra long jumps with Rabbid Peach, and maybe, just maybe, we can use this to our benefit. Like that. Blow up the big bomb, move forward, drop down our Oozer, like so, and just like that, open up this area a little bit more, and also kind of mess with the deep freeze a little bit. Okay, not too bad. And then from there, what would be the best way of doing this? Honestly, I'm not too sure about that one. But from here, I would say probably giving this Rabbid Mario the bomb up, I would think. Or just bouncing off of that bomb. Yeah, that might work actually better. Let's definitely try it that way. So team jump off of you. See as far as we possibly can get. Toss it on you. Open up that entire area. We frostbite, but in a way that we are completely open to getting to him now. And we can use self-service to do it. So honestly, probably a good idea. We'll just see how far we can get. We can definitely get really close. And it's self-service doing it, so even if we go down, it's not in a major way that it's going to hurt us. So we'll set up counterblow immediately. So, based on the fact that this one is going a lot easier than the Kraken did, I'm going to definitely say, I think the Kraken is definitely the hardest one to do, honestly. Because right now, we're in a very good situation. Like, it could definitely go differently, I feel, but I definitely don't think this is the hardest one, for sure. But let's get as close as Rayman could possibly get, because Rayman's still got a movement, and we have boots, and we might as well use them. And right now, it looks like we need to move Rabbid Mario right about here. Yeah, like right there-ish. And then Rayman can take a big jump. Where exactly can we go, though? I really want to know. Okay, we got big, regular stooge, or, well, we got fire stooges over there. But honestly, what we can do is we can go into the rocket mode and do some pretty nasty damage to this guy, depending on how we do this turn. So honestly, let's put down the plunger guards right next to him, and just get those set up. And immediately... Oh, wait. When did I use my other ability? I don't remember. Oh, I remember. I got confused. It's been so long since I've used items that I forgot they use your points. Okay, well, it's not too much of a problem. We got him in a really good spot right now. If he moves, he hurts himself. So, honestly, we're in a really good spot. Right now, it's all about just making sure everybody is nice and healed. And I think we can just end turn right now. See what the bomb-bombs do. As long as they don't go crazy, we should be fine. And if the Flaming Stooges do anything, they're gonna hurt themselves. Massively. Oh, but he can go right in a weird spot, too. Thankfully, they're trying to go into cover. Oh, but that one pushed us into opening. Okay. Well, they're not all going for the same target, but we did get hit again. But we did get counterblow, so I guess it kind of works. And it pushed us near our allies, so maybe it's not the worst case scenario. Rabbid Peach got kind of moved in a weird spot, but this actually is not a bad area to be in right now, honestly. Okay. Very interesting. I actually think we're going to be really good here, actually. Because right now, what I can do is get into an area where we can hit a bunch of enemies with Frenzy and sap in extra damage for Rabbid Mario, which he'll definitely enjoy. And then we can give him a big punch. After that, what we can do is move back for the bomb-bombs and use the bomb-bombs to our advantage by using our hooks if we can hit them. Doesn't look like I can hit the hooks from here. Okay, well, that's not majorly a problem. Okay, sorry for the random cut there, my dog started barking. But what we need to do now is just sit on the button there, and then figure out a way for the best possible outcome here. I'm gonna say best outcome right now is Rayman. And the reason for it is because what Rayman can do right now. We have a double dash, so we can instantly, well, technically a double dash, we can grab the bomb-bomb, toss it, grab another one, toss it again, like so. Then, what we can do is, we can go for a normal hit on the Flaming Stooge, if we wanted to. Or, what my possibility of thinking first would be better, go for the regular hit with the Rocket Blaster. Then, go into the Rocket Ride itself, run right into him, give him a good chunk of damage, get our selfie right on in there, get a couple punches in, like so, and then all we really need to do from there is good old Rabbid Peach, which all she really needs to do is just move into position, which is very easy to do because Rabbid Mario's right here. So we just use the extra movement because of his ability to attack and move to get right into the position of just getting a regular hit in, and our Flaming Stooge goes out just like that. Pretty easy. That's a very easy golden trophy, and based on the fact that we dealt with the Kraken first for the pirate area, and that ended up being really hard compared to this one, I'm going to be very, very sure that the Kraken was supposed to be the last one we were supposed to do. So, we got the hardest out of the way early, which is not bad, but wasn't my intention at all. But it's good to know that now, so it wasn't just me being rusty, I just chose the worst one to do first, is all. Because we were slightly under-leveled for it, because we were starting something harder first. But just like that, down goes the giant Flaming Stooge, meaning we've just completed 4 levels in today's episode, which I was not prepared for, but honestly, we were able to do it. Not too bad. But I am literally now out of time, so we need to finish this up immediately. But here we go. These viewership numbers are sweet spot if we want to make it to syndication. Excellent work. Excellent work indeed. And with that being said, we're officially done with today's episode. Hopefully no dialogue after this, because I'm going to be honest, I actually have to go now. So, honestly, not too bad, honestly, being able to do what we did, but it looks like we do have a little bit more, so gotta hope my dogs don't bark when I'm trying to do this here. You slayed the dragon of low audience engagement. Viewership doubled with shady merchant robot demographic alone. I hardly want to jinx anything, but Terraflora's superior infusion may sign on us as an exclusive sponsor. Oh, this reminds me of my time at Castle Rock. Any chance I can keep a prop as a souvenir? I actually think I know that level. It's I was watching music levels for Rayman, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that he's talking about. No. Sorry there, Rayman. Looks like Tom Fawn really wants nothing to do with Rayman in a lot of the dialogues, which is weird because he invited him here. But with that being said, that's where we're going to be ending off today's episode, leaving us with just the western set left and whatever's still left on the planets, because there was definitely still more after the western sets. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next episode. And in the next episode, I won't be as rusty. So, thank you guys for sticking with me in my first episode back in 2 weeks. So, see you all in the next one, boys and girls, and honestly, to see what comes next, see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.